You failed once again.
You don't know where to go from here. You've been here many times before. You're staring mindlessly out the window and you're thinking to yourself, how am I going to bounce back from this one? The truth is that failure is an inevitable part of each of our lives and we go through it multiple times. What counts is our response.
I have some bad news for you. You'll forever be a slave of failure if you...
Wait, before we get to that, remember to smash the subscribe button and do not fail to turn on the post notifications bell as well, or you'll be even more disappointed. Got it? Let's go. You will forever be a slave to failure if you fail to see the lesson in each of those failures. It's never a pleasant experience. It's something we all go through, but very few people have the capability to see the lesson in each of their failures. They just simply view it as bad luck or as an unpleasant experience, but very few have the ability to learn from each of those failures. And today I'm going to be sharing 3 simple strategies that you can use to take a lesson from each failure, and rather than view failure as a setback, view it as a stepping stone, view it as a learning curve. If you are interested, I encourage you to watch the video till the very end to make sure you have all 3 tips to use to make sure that you do not have unpleasant experiences from failure ever again. You have to come to the realization that there's a hidden truth behind each of our failures. There is a reason that particular failure took place. Perhaps it was just a source of bad luck. Perhaps it was you not working hard enough. Perhaps you didn't put in the effort you were supposed to put into that specific thing. But the truth behind it is there's always a reason, there's always a hidden truth behind each of your failures. For example, you've decided to start an online e-commerce business. You've set up your store, you've done some marketing, you've
gotten 0 sales.
Now, this failure can be attributed to many sources. It can be attributed to you doing the incorrect marketing, you not doing enough research beforehand, you not choosing the right product that has enough customers. But the fact of the matter is that there's a lesson behind that failure. And that lesson is that you need to do holistic research. And I'm just using this as an example. You need to do holistic research before starting a business like this. You need to identify the correct product. You need to identify the correct customer base. You need to identify the correct platforms to use. This is, of course, just an example that I'm using. But if you cannot see the lesson or the hidden truth behind each failure, you are not going to be able to learn. If you use the online e-commerce business as an example again, after this failure, you know, okay, maybe I'm supposed to choose another product. Maybe I'm supposed to do more research about my potential client base. Maybe I should improve my marketing here and there. And then you'll attain better results the next time you try. So don't view it as a major setback. Rather, analyze it. Rather, go about it very systematically, very holistically. And instead of viewing this failure that you've experienced as a permanent setback and as a permanent failure and defeat, rather uncover the hidden truth behind it. Ask yourself, why did I fail? What are the things that caused me to fail? Analyze them, go over them diligently in your own time, and make sure you correct those mistakes going into the next time. Have you ever noticed that some people are completely oblivious to their failures? Failure comes and they simply ignore it and keep on doing the same thing over and over until they fail again and again and again. Their stubbornness is getting the better of them. And this is why you should be failing. Failing is an essential part of life. It's an essential part of progress in many aspects of life. Because if you do not fail, first of all, there's going to be no lesson. Second of all, there's going to be no incentive to improve on what you've been doing. You've embarked on this self-improvement journey and you've promised yourself, I'm going to journal every single day. A week goes by, you've been doing fine. 2 weeks go by, you've skipped a few days and you've realized, well, I failed. I should have done better. I should have stayed more disciplined and I should have stayed more consistent with my journaling. You see the lesson behind that failure, and you see the reason why you failed. That failure is telling you that you need to be more disciplined, you need to be more consistent with the journaling example that we're using. But some people will just rub it off as nothing, and they'll continue down this destructive path of not realizing and not really absorbing that failure, and just keep on making the same mistakes over and over. That is not how you're going to improve yourself. It's not how you're going to stay motivated, and it is definitely not how you're going to stay consistent with whatever it is that you're doing. So make sure that rather than trying to avoid failure, rather than ignoring failure, you should embrace it, because you should fail. Failure is a stepping stone to success, it's a stepping stone to progress. But most importantly, failure is there
To teach you a lesson.
to teach you discipline and to teach you the power of consistency. I want to conclude today's video with a wake-up call. You are not immune against failure. You may feel like you're invincible, you may feel like you're doing everything perfectly, and you may in fact be doing everything as perfectly as you possibly can. You may be working as hard as you possibly can, but the inevitable truth is that at some stage in your journey, you are bound to face failure multiple times. This is something that a lot of people are very ignorant about, because they believe that they have the perfect strategy, they have the perfect work ethic, they have the perfect routine in order to stay as productive as possible. But life happens, and failure sooner rather than later will hit you.
Oh shit.
What is going to be your response? What is going to be your response to each failure that you experience? How have you responded to failure in the past? Let me know in the comment section. What habits do you engage in when you go through a failure? How you handle failure is going to determine the progress you make in many aspects of your life. So make sure you handle failure the correct way. Ladies and gentlemen, if you found value in this video, make sure to smash that subscribe button, and please turn on the post notifications bell to make sure you stay up to date with the uploads. I thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.